Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Turkey. I'm now in Denizli after taking a bus from Antalya. The main attraction of this area and the main reason for visiting is to go to Pamukkale, which is where I'm going today on a day trip. It's best to stay here in Denizli only. There isn't much to see here in the city. You can also stay in Pamukkale if you wish, but it's a bit of a smaller place and I think it's quite expensive. So right now I'm going to hop on the bus and show you my journey from Denizli to Pamukkale, and I'll explain a bit more about why it's so interesting later on in the video. Now inside the bus station, after a little bit of confusion, I've worked out that you need to go downstairs to take the Pamukkale bus from number 76. There's no need to buy a ticket, you just go to number 76 and pay there. It's a minibus like one of these, leaves every 20 minutes or so. So that's just 4 lira, and I believe it takes around 25 minutes. The minibus is completely empty, despite the fact we're leaving in 10 minutes. It tells you a little bit about the tourism here in November and how quiet it is. So I'm now here in the small town of Pamukkale after that minibus ride. It's around midday and I've decided to come here a little bit later on because it's a little bit cold if you come very early in the morning, and I'm walking towards the travertines, and you'll understand what I mean when I say it'll be a little bit cold in the morning once it reveals itself in just a moment. A UNESCO World Heritage Site. And additionally, on top you will find Hierapolis, an ancient spa city, which I'm going to show, of course, later on in the video. 50 lira to enter, including entrance to Hierapolis. The part just in front of me now is where you have to remove your shoes. Yes, remove your shoes, despite the fact it looks like a white glacier. No footwear allowed. So be prepared for that. I'm now walking on the travertines, and a couple of things I want to mention that may help you. Bring a backpack for starters with a plastic bag, and put your shoes in the plastic bag and then in your backpack so you don't have to carry them around all the time. Secondly, wear sun cream. If you're as pale as me, the sun is going to be directly on you. I just walked past some German tourists coming out after finishing walking around, and they were saying how they're going to burn so much today. There is a lot of water running off the surface of the travertines, and so be prepared for your feet to be cold. Look at that view. And the sun reflecting off the water here. You can hear the water gushing behind me and the steam bouncing off as it's so warm, and it's yet another example of how geographically unique Turkey is. How I can go from being in honeycombed hills in Cappadocia to the cities of Ankara, the coldness of Konya, and then Antalya with sea and mountains in the distance, and extremely warm during the winter time, 20 degrees. And then I'm back here again on this almost bizarre looking white glacier type of mountain with rich mineral water. This water is beautifully warm. I could sit here for an eternity watching this view. I recommend just not bothering with socks. It really doesn't make a difference, and if anything your feet will probably be colder. Oh, this is amazing. Check out my view. So I've now finished walking through the travertines, which are just behind me here, and you're able to put your shoes back on again once you reach the end. I've stopped for lunch here, and one thing I do recommend is that you bring your own food. I bought some borek in Denizli before coming here, and my own water, because I heard that there's nowhere to really buy food or drink here, and the stuff that is available is quite expensive. So yeah, bring your own lunch and you can sit down when you reach the top, admire the view, and have a little nibble on your Turkish pastries. Now atop the travertines, I'm going to explore Hierapolis, which was the ancient spa city. There are ruins as far as the eye can see, and just here in the foreground as well. To give you an idea just how old it is, Hierapolis was founded around 190 BC and thrived under the Romans and Byzantines. It had large Jewish and Christian Orthodox communities. I think the fact it's atop the travertines has helped it to be so well preserved all these years. However, that has not kept it immune from earthquakes, which have led to most of the city's destruction as we know it. There is also another city here in Turkey which is even more emphatic and well preserved, and is the highlight of ancient cities in the country, Ephesus, and that's where I'm heading in the next video. It's not too far away from here. So I'm just sitting right on the edge of the amphitheatre. The sun is right in my eyes, you can see it behind me. And views of Hierapolis and the landscape beyond. Remnants of Hierapolis continue in the distance. You can see a gate quite far over there next to those big trees. My shoes are back off and I'm about to head down the travertines once more. It's 2:45 and look how much busier it is than when I came up earlier around 11:30, 12 noon. So don't leave it too late, you will be amongst many other people. One more quick dip for my feet. So nice, like a foot spa. And natural one, that is. Hey, so I'm now back here in my room in Denizli after taking the minibus from Pamukkale. As I mentioned earlier on in this video, I'm heading to Ephesus next, and to reach it, generally you'll stay in the town of Selçuk. Pronunciation should have been okay there. So I'm heading there tomorrow on the bus, so stay tuned for the next video of one of Turkey's most spectacular sites. See you then. Peace.